Now at 5, a lawsuit alleges a Labette County judge created a hostile work environment. Plus, House Republicans accused the Biden administration of weaponizing the Department of Justice against political opponents. And
time is running out in the desperate search for the submersible that went missing in the Atlantic with 5 people on board. I'm Roxana Saberi in Boston with more on the underwater noises detected in the search zone.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
a lawsuit alleges a Labette County, Kansas judge created a hostile work environment. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. KOAM's Anthony Saviello joins us in the studio now with details.
Dow, thanks. The plaintiff of this lawsuit against the state of Kansas is Terry Thurman, who was employed for more than 21 years as the clerk of Labette County District Court in Parsons. According to the lawsuit documents, Thurman claims she was subjected to hostile work environment based on her sex or gender. The lawsuit specifically targets instances that occurred allegedly between employees of the 11th District, including Thurman and Judge Fred Johnson. The allegations highlight instances where Judge Johnson allegedly expressed aggressive behaviors, used aggressive language, continued prolonged verbal harassment, creating a hostile and uncomfortable work environment. On January 21st of 2020, the judge with the 11th Judicial District ordered that Judge Johnson only sit in Oswego. That order was later rescinded, allowing Johnson to sit either in Parsons or Oswego. Then the original order was reinstated in July of 2021. However, according to Thurman, this action had little effect on the issues, resulting in her later submission of a resignation effective in December 2021. Thurman is now suing for damages and various costs. Judge Johnson's office declined for a request to comment. We also reached out to both Thurman's attorney and Kansas Attorney General, but we have yet to receive a response.
Anthony, thanks. Let's check in with meteorologist Sam Lane for a first look at the weather.
All right, thank you very much, Dow. We've had mostly cloudy skies today with some showers way off towards the west. You can see those just north and east of Wichita, almost also maybe a sprinkle in southern Labette County. But notice way out to the west, severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado watches, in fact, some confirmed tornadoes on the ground in northeastern Colorado, but they can keep it. We're going to be left with mostly fair skies tonight. We do have a little bit of a feature on the upper levels. That's a mesoconvective vortex. It's not really going to create much in the way of weather in our area. Instead, we're going to see temperatures dropping through the 80s all the way down to around 65 by tomorrow morning. And looking down the lane, the showers are going to be possible out towards the west in the morning. But the main story is the heat continues, along with some weekend storm chances. And I'll be back in a few minutes to tell you all about that in just a little while.
All right, catch you in a few. Coast Guard officials say efforts to locate underwater noises that might be connected to the submersible missing since Sunday have so far yielded negative results, but they added there is still reason to be hopeful. Reporter Roxana Saberi is in Boston with the expanding search for the vessel and 5 people on board.
The U.S. Coast Guard says crews looking for the missing Titan vessel are racing to pinpoint the source of underwater sounds detected in the search zone.
We need to have hope, right? But I can't tell you what the noises are. But what I can tell you is, and I think this is the most important point, we're searching where the noises are, and that's all we can do at this point.
Coast Guard officials said they could not confirm reports that banging sounds were detected 30 minutes apart, something that was giving hope to friends of Titanic expert Paul-Henri Nargeolet, one of the 5 people on board.
P.H. Nargeolet would do something like that to keep so let people know that they're there.
The submersible is owned by the company OceanGate. It was on its way to visit the wreckage of the Titanic on Sunday when it went missing.
3 more vessels arrived on scene on Wednesday to help with the search, including one that has side-scanning sonar capabilities.
We currently have 5 surface assets searching for the Titan, and we expect 10 total surface assets to search in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Once located, retrieving the submersible in time presents another challenge, with oxygen expected to run out by Thursday morning.
Part of my mind was going, well, this could be the end.
The Simpsons writer Mike Reese took the underwater trip almost a year ago and says passengers know the dangers.
You sign this long waiver that mentions possible death 3 times on the first page.
The Coast Guard says data about the noises has been shared with U.S. Navy experts for more analysis. Roxana Saberi, CBS News, Boston.
According to a 2018 court filing, a former Ocean Gate employee said he was fired after voicing concerns about the Titan, saying it posed potential danger to passengers. That's a quote. But in documents filed in April, Ocean Gate said the vessel was capable of diving the depth of the Titanic site with a, quote, comfortable safety margin. Special Counsel John Durham testified today on Capitol Hill. Durham looked into the origins of the FBI's investigation into possible links between Russia and former President Donald Trump's 2016 campaign. Most Republican lawmakers used the hearing to accuse President Biden of weaponizing the DOJ and the FBI to attack his political opponents. The White House denies those claims, saying the DOJ acts independently. There is good news for weary commuters around Philadelphia. Road crews have been working around the clock to rebuild a critical section of Interstate 95 that collapsed a week and a half ago. Pennsylvania's governor says that section of the major highway will partially reopen this weekend, much sooner than expected. Still ahead, advocating for those in need.
It's Family Advocacy Day. I'm Danya Backus with how a young double organ transplant recipient is using her voice to help others.
And later, how a group of students is turning virtual reality into a full body experience. Topping today's Health Watch, people with severely blocked arteries might want to avoid exercising because it could lead to a stroke. Researchers in India used a computer model to simulate blood flow. They found exercise stresses a narrowing in the artery, and for those with mid to high blockage, so that stress can cause the artery to rupture and send plaque to the brain. But as expected, they also saw that exercise improves the health of simulated arteries when there was slight or no blockage. Eating disorders and self-harm among 13 to 16-year-old girls in the United Kingdom rose during the pandemic. Eating disorders were 42% higher, and self-harm was 38% higher. That's according to a study published in the Lancet Child and Adolescent Health Journal. Researchers are calling for increased mental health services for teens to reduce these issues from continuing into adulthood. Families all across the country are in Washington, D.C. on this Family Advocacy Day to share their stories and educate lawmakers about the role of children's hospitals. Reporter Danya Backus spoke to a 15-year-old with a rare pediatric kidney disease who's using her voice to advocate for others.
Kyrie Ramirez is now a thriving 15-year-old, but she'll tell you it's been a journey getting to this point.
I don't think I really had the perception that I was sick really until the point where I was in the hospital and they were like, you have kidney and liver failure.
During a routine physical when she was 8, doctors discovered Kyrie had a swollen spleen.
When the ultrasound and the blood work came in, the doctor called us to her office and told us rush her to emergency to Children's Hospital.
Kyrie came here to Children's Hospital Los Angeles, where she was diagnosed with a congenital kidney disorder that also affects the liver.
The only treatment over time is actually replacement of those organs with an organ transplant.
Dr. Rachel Lest is the medical director of pediatric kidney transplantation.
For Kyrie, actually, her kidney disease progressed to the point of her needing help with her kidney function fairly quickly. She ended up starting on hemodialysis.
After nearly 3 years on dialysis, at the age of 11, Kyrie had an 18-hour life-saving kidney and liver transplant. As part of Family Advocacy Day in Washington, D.C., Kyrie and her father are sharing their story with members of Congress.
I think it's really important to me that I advocate for people because I really just want to give a voice to people.
A voice she says wouldn't be possible without the treatment she received at her pediatric hospital. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Kyrie is approaching 4 years since having that double transplant. She'll have to be on medication for the rest of her life in order to make sure her organs are functioning. Because of her experience, she now wants to have a career in pediatrics. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our pet vet on call.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Dudek from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we're going to talk about why your cat is eating grass.
Well, we had a warm day across the area, and I'll be back to tell you if we're going to have a hot weekend when we come back. Well, summer arrived this morning officially just before 10 a.m., but I think summer has arrived a little bit early this year with temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s across the area. And this afternoon, no different. In fact, let's take a look outside right now at Seneca, Missouri at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. You can see a few clouds out there helping out with the temperatures just a little bit. Didn't get as warm as we were thinking, but still upper 80s across the area. In fact, we averaged out normal. 88 for the high, 87 is the normal high, but check out the low. It was 66, which was 1 degree below, so it all averaged out. And we're still, of course, behind on the rainfall for the month and for the year. Speaking of rainfall, we have a few isolated sprinkles in Craig County. A lot of this is probably not even reaching the ground. Some sprinkles are occurring up, though, in Greenwood County around Eureka, but some bigger storms are out towards the west in western Kansas. But we do have an interesting little feature. This is what we call a mesoscale vortex that's kind of moving through the southeast area into our region, but it's not really going to generate a whole lot of activity. Instead, we're going to see temperatures remaining pretty warm. In fact, right now we're looking upper 80s, 89 in Stockton for one of the warmest readings, 87 in Nowata, 87 in Veneta, and 86 degrees currently in Pittsburgh. And when you factor in the dew point and the humidity, it feels right around the temperature, not too bad. It could be worse, trust me. 91 in Nevada and Stockton is what it currently feels like, and 90 degrees down for the folks on Grand Lake. Severe weather risk, obviously, tonight is going to be way out to the west in northeastern Colorado, where there's actually some confirmed tornadoes on the ground now, and also in the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma. Not really expecting any severe weather anywhere near our area, and that's pretty good news. In fact, rain chances are going to remain low for the next 36 hours, and then things are going to start changing as we head towards the weekend. And you can see on the forecast tonight, just isolated showers possible. Really, I think this model is overdoing it a little bit with temperatures in the 60s. And then as we go through the day tomorrow, again, the best chance of showers out towards the west with highs in the upper 80s and lower 90s on northeasterly winds. Then as we go into Friday morning, partly cloudy skies with lows in the 60s, so very another mild, warm morning. And then in the afternoon, again, storms out towards the west. But notice, as we go through the evening hours, a complex is expected to develop up towards the north, and that will sail across our area late Friday night and into Saturday morning with a pretty good chance of showers and storms, according to this particular model, with lows in the upper 60s and 70s. And the main feature is going to be this ridge of high pressure that's going to be playing games with us for the next few days. When it's over on top of us, no rain chances. But then when it starts to weaken and move away, rain chances increase, especially as we go towards the weekend in a northwesterly flow pattern. That's when we get storms developing up on the high plains, and then they roll southeast during the overnight hours and into the early morning. And that's when we think the best chance of storm activity is going to be across the region. And in fact, rainfall amounts are going to be highest under some of those thunderstorms. Right now, it looks like the best chance of that is going to be down to the south and east, but we'll continue to monitor that as we get closer to the weekend. Here's your next 7-day forecast. 20% chance of showers in the morning, mainly out towards the west. Then Friday, 90 and 91 on Saturday, with again a better chance of storms on Saturday night into Sunday morning. And then the rain chances end again on Monday. And then on Wednesday, look at 95 and then 96 on Thursday. And to be nice, I dropped the temperatures a little bit on Friday and Saturday with a chance of showers.
Well, thank you for the temperature drop.
You're welcome.
Even if it's a degree or two, it helps, I guess.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Sam. Coming up, why the Federal Trade Commission is suing online retail giant Amazon. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the Federal Trade Commission is suing Amazon, accusing the company of tricking its customers. That might be you. The FTC filed a federal lawsuit alleging Amazon deceived millions of consumers into signing up for its Prime subscription service. Prosecutors say Amazon also used deceptive interface designs known as dark patterns to thwart users who were actually trying to cancel their memberships. No word from Amazon about that lawsuit. Sausage maker Johnsonville is recalling more than 42,000 pounds of sausage links, saying they might be contaminated with plastic fibers. The Wisconsin company is recalling some Better with Cheddar links after at least one person found thin strands of black plastic. The impacted products were made on January 26. No illnesses have been reported. You can find more information about the recall, including batch numbers, on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Virtual reality could soon feel a lot more real. A VR bodysuit is in the works that adds a sense of touch to the experience, but it's not just for fun. It could also serve those with limited mobility. Christian Benavides reports.
Exploring virtual reality may soon include suiting up. This full VR bodysuit comes complete with soft robotic muscles, meaning you'll be able to feel what you see.
So something that we integrated is that you can let a bird land on your hand and feel it because the muscles are contracting on the suit.
The so-called MetaSuit is the creation of students at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology. Its purpose, to create a natural feeling for users in order to interact with VR environments like the metaverse.
You're in an entirely other environment. You could be on Mars and you feel something and it feels real.
The artificial muscles, called hazels, are actually pouches filled with a special fluid that can expand or contract with a tiny electric current.
These hazels are quite similar to human muscle. And this is also a reason why we use them, because to have a natural feeling when using hazels muscles on the suit.
Developers say in addition to VR, the technology could allow film directors to better map an actor's movement or even help someone suffering from Parkinson's keep walking.
Okay, that Saturn is way too big. Needs to come back down, please.
And with VR technology already being used in some classrooms, this bodysuit could make those lessons even more immersive. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
Developers say they're looking at other potential applications of the technology that might enhance our well-being. Our pet vet on call next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, an inside look at the makeover of legendary game show The Price is Right. Then on KOAM News at 6, a Pittsburgh woman says she videoed her neighbor abusing a dog and now fears retaliation. We're going to show you some of the video. Plus, a look at the efforts to restore power to thousands of Tulsa residents after last weekend's storm still without power. And the Missouri Sports Commission hands out its annual awards. We're going to see which local athletes took home prizes. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. What might seem like odd habits of our pets could actually serve a real purpose. Today's question for our pet vet on call: why does my cat eat grass?
Well, sometimes it's for a reason, like they're nauseous and they need to throw up. And grass does help them throw up because their stomach acids are different than the bases of the grass. Sometimes it's to calm their stomachs down because they have too much acid from whatever condition. And it's not always a sign of an issue, but sometimes a cat might just like a little salad with their dinner. If it's not your normal for your cat, if it's an excessive kind of thing, there's probably something going on and you need to see your veterinarian.
Hey, we invite questions from anyone. If you have a question, you just send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or brings us a fun fact every Wednesday right here on KOAM News at 5. You can also find answers to previous questions on our website. All right, let's check out our picks of the litter for the week. From the Joplin Humane Society, look at that. We have Fireball, an adult male orange short-haired cat. And from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society, we have Bambi. The shelter says she's a 5-month-old boxer. No, it's not a deer. If you're looking for a pet.
That's what I was thinking.
Nope, not in this case. But any pet, aside from a deer, perhaps check out the local Humane Society. Cute animals.
Very good.
Hot
Might want to
out
make
there.
sure the dogs are watered if they're outside, or any pets that are outside, with temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. We do have a chance of storms on Saturday and Sunday, but they're small chances. And then Tuesday, another isolated storm chance. But check out the temperatures late next week in the upper 90s. So summer is here.
Yes, it is, and it's too hot as usual. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next, and of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.